Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. What does that mean anyway? You're a real estate agent. Friday doesn't mean anything, but happy Friday, Tracy Anne.
Happy Friday, David.
Welcome to Coffee and eXp, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me on.
In what city, for those of us that don't know Tracy Ann, are you live from?
I'm coming out of Menifee, California.
Menifee, California, my friend. I'm so excited to have you on the show. You've been getting a lot of love lately. You were part of the door knocking competition, which our eXp office won.
I was.
You were part of our national call day competition, which we won.
This is true.
You closed an escrow recently. You've been getting paid. You've been doing good things. But let's take it back a little bit. When did you join eXp?
I joined at the end of January.
The end of January. Okay, so a few months ago now. And who is your sponsor?
Zachary Bach.
Zach Bach. And then because you're not a brand new agent. You were at another company before you decided to come over to eXp. What was it that made you decide to come to eXp?
There's a lot of factors that made me make that decision. I was looking for something different, and I wasn't really sure what I was looking for. I knew that real estate's really cutthroat, and
Right.
I'm such a sensitive, emotional person that I don't like all the cutthroat stuff. So I was seeing Zach on Facebook a lot, and I was like, man, he's putting out some really good content. He seems to know what
Mm-hmm.
he's talking about. So I reached out to him, and I was like, who trained you? Where did you learn these things from? So he invited me to come into the Real Estate Resource Center, and
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. The minute I walked through the doors, it just felt right. And then I sat down for an hour with the group, and I just saw what they were working on. I saw who they were with. I mean, some of the
Yep.
people that are supporting EXP are people that I really like and respect in the industry. Some of the peripheral people.
Yeah.
So everybody was just in one room, and it felt like home.
Yeah.
So
And it was a really cool thing having you walking into it. Golden says happy Friday from out in Vegas. Good morning, Golden. Steven, our fellow EXP real estate agent and active duty Navy guy, is saying good morning as well. Good morning to you both. Okay, so you met Zach. You immediately started vibing with the office. It was something that, and at that point, we were predominantly working out of the RERC, which we still do a lot. But so what was different?
well, besides the energy and the vibe and the fact that, you know, I'm sure you've gotten into it with a lot of people about the Rev Share program,
Hmm.
but it's not just about the money. It's about the fact that we are um, a success. And I think that was the biggest difference that I saw in the office.
Yeah.
That everybody cares about everybody else's success so much that we're there collaborating. There's a lot of synergy. Um,
You cannot collaborate more than when you're collaborating with a bunch of other owners. Because at any given point, Tracy Ann could walk out and be like, you know what, this culture isn't really vibing with me here. I'm just going to do my own ownership somewhere else. And so everybody doesn't have a ceiling. We're all working together on a collaborative level. And how else can you collaborate with people that are not necessarily your equals? If you're an owner and you're a broker and no one else has the opportunities that you have, how can you really feel like it's a really collaborative environment? And I feel like we're all coming at it from equals. We're all coming at it from the same perspective, and that we all have the same ceiling, which there is none.
well, and there's not that super I mean, we're competitive,
Yeah.
absolutely. You've seen us knocking out these competitions, but we're not competitive amongst each other. And
Yeah.
so that's really cool to me. And then I had Zach break down exactly how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he broke down the rev share program, and he broke down the 80-20 split until you cap. And I mean, a $16,000 cap in Southern California is nothing.
Yeah.
So
It's about 8 transactions. It's about 8 transactions, and then you're at 100% for the rest of the year. But this is the big problem, or a big thing that I really love, that you highlighted a moment ago, that people didn't really pick up on. Um, we're not being competitive with one another.
yeah, we're
We're
working
not trying to beat
with
each
each other.
other. That's
So
right.
that's really important to me. Just I'm an FP, so I'm extroverted, but I'm also very feeling and sensitive, and so
Hmm.
I like to be in a group that's gonna pick me up and say,
Yeah.
you know what, maybe you could do it a little bit differently, and it's gonna bring you this much success. I love all this stuff you're doing. You're so outside of the box and
Thank you.
forward thinking.
Thank
And
you, Tracy Anne.
thank you. You bring a lot to the table. So it's an honor to be able to work with you as, one of my mentors and people that I can learn from.
Well,
So
for us, collaboration isn't just a buzzword. You know what I mean? Like we're literally collaborating with other offices that aren't even with eXp because we just enjoy that sort of culture. And what happens is our entire industry gets better because of it. So, and with that collaboration, with that energy, with that synergy in the office, there's a lot of really great things. So, what has it been like so far?
it's been a whirlwind. I went from having nothing in my pipeline to within a couple of months of some coaching and some ideas, having a very full pipeline. I have
Yeah.
several people that I'm working with currently right now. I seem to I attract the people that have a hard time getting, they say I could never do it. Owning real estate is not something that's going to happen for me because I have this problem and this problem and this
Yep.
problem. And I'm the person, because I'm so nurturing, I take them on and I'm like, let's get you into a home. It might not be until next year, but
Yeah.
let's get you into a home. So since January, I met all of these people and I've been
Hmm.
nurturing through credit challenges.
Hmm.
Um, Toby Love has been really instrumental in helping me to educate my clients on just
Toby's
how
great.
qualified for a home loan. And so now I've got about 5 people that I see closing here in the second quarter, and I'm
So
really
you placed some clients in a house a couple of weeks ago. You closed
excited.
an escrow this month. You're doing a lot of really great things. But in addition to that, I think that the shift for you has been because right now you're uncomfortable. You don't like doing these live shows. You don't like getting up in front of the and doing the live videos. But
No,
you're doing it. You're getting out of your comfort zone and you're serving people. That's been the shift. A lot of people they get into this business and they think, "Oh, I'm not a salesperson. Oh, I don't really like to sling real estate." And I just tell people, just be of service. Just help people out in the best way that you can. If that's helping them with credit, if that's helping them with property management, if that's helping them buy and sell, whatever it is, just be of service.
well, and it's teaching me a lot because somebody comes to me and they say, "Hey, I know I could buy, but I really just want to rent." I didn't know anything about rentals. I'd always kind of been steered away from it because there's not a lot of money to be made in it. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, I found that there's quite a lot of educating that can go into it, and people that thought they could only rent are learning that they can buy.
That's right.
It's taught me a ton about the industry as a whole. I mean, you can stop learning in real estate. What I love about it, it's never boring, never a dull moment.
And sometimes, placing that client in that rental for 6 months, helping them out to fix their credit, and then they turn around and they buy. We just did it. We're doing it right now. And so it's service. So I appreciate you. And what I want to do right now is I want to get to probably the most important question of the show. What sort of coffee mug are we drinking out of?
So I chose this coffee mug. It says, "You make my smile." Um, it came from my kids on Mother's Day last year. It had a little stuffed animal and some candy. And everybody knows that, well, in my house at least, that I don't just like a cup of coffee. I like a whole bowl. So I don't know if you can tell how big this thing is. It's a half a pot of coffee. So it's my favorite mug. And it just reminds me to keep a happy heart and be grateful.
As a mom, as a dad, we do a lot of work from home.
Yes.
We run the kids to school, we come back, we work, we go and we pick up, we do all the things that we need to do. And it's nice to be able to work from home.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to just have that digital cup of coffee and catch up with people. And it's really changing everything for our industry, not thinking that we're supposed to be working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and showing up at an office and pretending to work.
Yeah. Well, and I like the fact too that like during the intake process, I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world, and EXP is such a forward thinking like millennial model of like you can do this virtually from anywhere. And so Vanessa took like 2 hours out of her day between me having to get off the phone and run my daughter to school and come back and get back on the phone with her, and she walked me through the whole thing and
Mm-hmm.
made me so much more comfortable with what I was doing.
And of
Um,
course, who you're talking about, for those of you that don't know, one of the big issues that people are having with EXP, they're saying, oh, the onboarding is difficult. And so our group, the Powerhouse Tribe, is thrashing that idea. And so what we did is we have Vanessa Liddell, who was the first person to run a national short sale account, who is controlling our onboarding. She's helping people set up their systems. And that's what she's doing full time with our group, is helping people to onboard and set up their system. So it's been really fun having her available, because I'm not a big tech savvy guy either. But the other person that she's helping is our friend that says, it's so easy, a grandma can do it. Nancy Barrick was in the cloud getting set up with Vanessa Liddell. So everybody can do it. It's not just millennials, but it's definitely a very millennial friendly company.
Well, it's just, it's the way of the future. And that's what I saw, that we're broken with all of the old models, that
That's right.
we didn't reinvent the wheel, but we just took it another step forward.
That's right. And this is kind of the future. You know what I mean? Like when people talk about agent ownership, they don't understand. They say, "Oh, I don't care about stock. Stock is garbage." And I say, "Well, all those people that are bagging groceries, or those cashiers that have been with Winco for 15 years, who got stock, who are millionaires on the East Coast, do you think that they think that their stock is garbage?
No,
Do you
I'm
think that
so excited. I'm so excited to have stock. I don't know anything about the stock market. This was my first time getting into it, and I'm very grateful that I have it. And
those are just added benefits. It's stock, it's revenue share, but people, the tech, the training, the collaboration on a national level, it's really unbeatable. And if you're here in our local market, we've got a great thing going here in our office.
I love it.
How long did it take you, once you had been introduced to eXp, to make that decision, to make the switch?
I did it.
You did it when?
I did it that day. I went and sat down with Zach. I sat down with the group. I listened to what he had to say. I thought about it, and I was like, this feels right. And look back, and I don't regret my decision.
Yeah. And so what's interesting is there are two different types of people, really, that join eXp. They're the people who, they think about it for 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. They talk to everybody that they know that knows anything about eXp. And then there are people like you who have their intuition, who walk in, they see a good thing, they feel it, and they jump.
Yeah.
And I think that was a really exciting thing, is you've done that with everything. You've been a part of every sort of collaborative thing that we've had going on in this office. You just jump in and you let the chips fall where they may. You're here to learn.
Yeah.
And you're here to teach.
So you guys have been very grateful.
All right, go for it.
What?
Nothing. Okay, one last question for you, and then I'll let you go, Tracy Anne. I know you got kids inside. My kids are set up with a hot chocolate inside right now, and so I've got myself a few seconds. But would you mind telling me the last question, and then give us a little bit of headspace here, because we're getting cut off right here. There we go. I'm going to cut it completely to you. Let people know what you would need to know to make the decision. Those people who are sitting on the fence, maybe they've watched 3 or 4 of these videos, maybe they're heavily thinking about it, but they haven't made the switch. What would you tell that person about your experience at eXp to help them make the switch?
I would just say, give it a try. Come sit down with myself. Come sit down with Zach. Come sit down with David. We've got Darren Campbell that you can come sit down with. Just come sit down with any one of us and have a conversation and be open-minded. I feel like a lot of people go into it saying, "Oh, I know everything I need to know about eXp," and you don't. If you actually have somebody sit down and break it down for you, it makes a lot of sense. So I would just have the conversation and come in and meet the people that you could be working with.
Find out what you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. And there are so many big hyperinflated egos out there right now that are thinking, "Oh, I know everything about eXp. I know everything about real estate. I'm God's gift to real estate." And if they could just check their ego a little bit and just find out what they don't know, they might find out that eXp is for them. They could jump in and make this better with us. We're not looking to have anybody bend the knee and come over here. We're looking to empower people into agent ownership on a national level. I don't care what you're doing here in the local valley. I'm looking at people who are interested in doing what they need to do. And whether that's practicing real estate and only paying $16,000, whether that's recruiting on a national level, whether that's coaching and mentoring and training, or whether that's hopping in and being a part of the ground pounders and the boots on the ground and knocking on doors and making phone calls, we're ready for you to come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, my friend. Well, lots of good mornings for you. Like I said, Golden said hello. Steven said good morning. Lauren says good morning. And Amy says good morning. Good morning, all. anyone wants to reach out to you, how can they contact you directly about eXp, my friend?
Give me a call at 951-609-4077. Call us.
Or reach out directly to Tracy Anne through Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit subscribe. David Serpa at eXp Realty. And Zach said he is glad to have you, Tracy. I'm glad to have you here. We've had some very deep heart-to-heart conversations, you and I, where we've leveled. I see you, my friend, and we are so fortunate to have you here. Genuinely, from my heart, we're fortunate to have you here.
I feel the same.
Have a great rest of your Friday, my friend, and have a productive weekend.
Hey, you too.
All right, everybody, have a good day. Bye, guys. Hope to see you on the Open House Show.